Hello friends, we'll continue the chapter of consignment, which is the part of paper 1, Principles and Practice of Accounting. I, Parag Sudhani, will take you through this chapter. Let's take an example. In this example, Vikram Milk Foods Company Limited of Vikrampur sent to Sundar Stores, Sonpuri, 5000 kg of baby food packed in 2000 tins of net weight 1 kg. Now, if you carefully read this question, see friends, I am drawing this question. I am presenting it. I am representing Vikram Milk Foods Company Limited by V, and he's sending the goods to Sundar Stores. I am representing it by S. So V is the consignor, S is the consignee. V sends to S 5000 kgs total. In total, he sends 5000 kg of food, and it is sent in two different variety of packets. He sends 2000 tins, and their weight is 1 kg per tin. Plus, he also sends 6000 packets. He also sends 6000 packets, and those 6000 packets are half kg each, right? Okay. So in total, if you do, then you can get 5000 kgs, which is the total consignment, if we measure it in weight, right? Okay. If we move further, consignee's commission was fixed at 5% of sale proceeds, right? 5% of sale proceeds will be his commission. The cost price and selling price of the product were as under. So these are the cost price and selling price. So cost as well as selling price both are given to us in two different varieties. Tin, the cost being rupees 10 per unit, and packet, cost being rupees 6 per unit. And when it is sold to customers, then the sale price will be tin rupees 15 per unit and packets rupees 7 per unit, right? Moving forward, the consignment was booked on freight to pay basis. That means consignor will not pay the freight. The freight is to be paid. By whom? By consignee. That means the freight will be paid by consignee. It will come under consignee's expenses. Okay. And what is the amount of freight? It clearly says freight charges came to 2% of selling value. Important thing is 2% of selling value. Right. Now, what is the selling value? This is the selling value. So, how we have to calculate the freight amount? You have to remember, we have to calculate the freight amount by taking selling value into consideration. That means by taking rupees 15 and rupees 7, not by taking rupees 10 and rupees 6. Okay. Further, it is written, one case containing 50, 1 kg tins. That means 50 tins was lost in transit and transport carried admitted a claim of 450. That means while in transit, 50 tins were lost. Okay. So we can say that this kind of loss in transit is not a normal loss, because generally we can't say that the losses are normal. This is simply an abnormal loss, right? Moving forward, at the end of first half year, the following information is gathered from account sales sent by the consignee. So how much sales has he made? Sales made are 1500 tins have been sold, and 4000 packets have been sold. Now, if 1500 tins have been sold, how much stock is lying at the end of the period? Out of total 2000 tins, 1500 tins have been sold. So 500 tins are lying in the stock. And similarly, out of 6000 packets given, 4000 packets are sold. That means 2000 packets are lying in the stock. Okay. Now what we have to do is we have to calculate the value of closing inventory, and then we have to make consignment account and consignee's account. Okay, in the books of consignor, assuming that the consignee has paid the amount due from him. So first of all, let us make the calculation of cost. For that, as we already know that the cost of stock will be calculated like this. How it will be calculated? Cost of stock. So first of all, cost of purchase. Let us take the whole cost of purchase, and that we'll take for two different things, tins and packets. For tins, cost of purchase will be, how much will be the cost of purchase? Let us see. It will be 2000 tins have been sent at the rate rupees 10. 2000 multiplied by 10. And as far as packet is concerned, 6000 packets and rupees 6. 6000 packets multiplied by rupees 6. That means 20,000 rupees for tin and 36,000 rupees for packets. Plus what we have to do? We have to add to it the expenses of consignor. As you remember, we have to add the expenses of consignor. Are there any expenses of consignor? No, there are no expenses of consignor. And as far as consignee's expenses are concerned, we have to take only non-recurring expenses. Are there any non-recurring expenses? Yes. Freight is the non-recurring expenses that he has to pay, which is 2% of the selling value, right? 2% of the selling value. So what is the selling value? Can you tell? The selling value is, in case of tin, I would say the selling value is 2000 tins multiplied by 15 rupees, I think. Yes, 15 rupees is the selling value. Multiplied by 15, right? And multiplied by 2%. So this is going to be the freight. So what is this amount? 2000 multiplied by 15 multiplied by 2%, 600 rupees. And similarly for packets, what will be the amount for packets? So total packets are 6000 multiplied by their selling price 7. 6000 multiplied by 7 and further multiplied by 2%, right? Okay. So if we calculate it, 6000 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 2%, 840 is the total freight, right? So if we add, we get the total cost of stock, which is 20,600 and 36,840. Now we know that there has been some amount of loss as well. How much is the loss? 50 tins were lost in transit, and which is the abnormal loss. We know it is not the normal loss. And as I had already told you, if it is abnormal loss, it will not be borne only by good units, it will be borne by all the units. So friends, first of all, tell me, this total cost belongs to how many units? How many units of tin did we have? We had 2000 units of tin and 6000 units of packets, right? So if we divide, we get per unit cost. So 20,600 divided by 2000 is rupees 10.3 per unit, and 36,840 divided by 6000 is 6.14 rupees per unit. Okay, so we have to calculate the value of stock. Tell me, what is the value of stock? How much stock of tin is left? How much stock of tin is left? I had written here 500 units of tins, but from that 50 units is also lost. Friends, 50 units of tins are lost in transit. How many units are we left with? We are left with 450 units multiplied by 10.3. So if we multiply it, 10.3 multiplied by 450, we get 4635 as the value of stock. And along with that, let us calculate the value of abnormal loss. So as we know that we have lost 50 units, if we multiply it with 10.3, what we get? 50 multiplied by 10.3, rupees 515. Okay. On the other hand, if we calculate the value of stock of packets, how much will it be? How much packets are left in the stock? See, we are left with 2000 units of packet in the stock and nothing is lost out of it. Nothing is lost. So what will be the value? 2000 units multiplied by 6.14 per unit. So 2000 multiplied by 6.14, we get 12,280 rupees as the value of stock. So if we total the stock, total stock value of tin and packet both come out to rupees 16915, right? So this is the total value of stock. This was the major task, the valuation of stock. This is what we have done. So this is the first part of this question. The next part of this question is to draw the accounts, which we'll do in the next part. Thank you.